everyone, this is Kelly, and I am here with a very exciting Lenormand. I pre-ordered this. I don't know how I missed it because I follow Jess, the creator of this, on Instagram, and I remember I saw some of the images and just didn't go back to check into it further. But then I just thankfully happened to catch a thing where she had put up a small number for pre-order. I want to say only like 30 copies or something like that. And there were still some left when I saw it. And I, of course, pre-ordered it because it's adorable. And I couldn't help but not. So that came in. And so it's wrapped up here. It's got a little bit of thank you card, a little thank you note there. I like I've said before, I am a sucker for when buying an independent deck. Having a little bit of an unwrapping experience. I do enjoy it. I enjoy the process. So it does come, which I didn't know actually. It does come with a zine, like a little pamphlet, is what I would call it. And it has a topic and then it has a modifier. So if a card is showing up in a modified position versus a topic position. And so she has a 2-card combo, a 3-card combo here. So for example, with Writer, the topics, if it shows up as a topic card or the main card for news, message, horseback riding, visitor, haste, act, delivery, progress, invitation, mail, parcel, transportation without an engine. So kind of some ideas of what it could be as a topic, and then as a modifier, speedy, something happening quickly, versatile, active, athletic, something is updating, progressive, informal, arriving, ride, announce. So she has all of them like that, where if it is this a topic or the significator, or is this modifying a topic and significator. So that's nice. I think that could be useful for somebody who was new to Lenormand. So that's, I think, pretty much what it has. 33, 35, 36. So then there are extra cards. So she goes through the whole thing, and I don't know if she gives, no. The Monster Lenormand comes with 5 extra optional cards. These cards are here to replace the gendered cards in your deck. Lenormand is traditionally a system that's heavily gendered. I wanted to bring a fresh take on these cards while also sticking to the tradition of including the original gender cards in the deck. Feel free to replace, use whatever cards you want. So there's a Seeker and a Querent, which is probably what I would use because that's how my deck is. My deck has the Querent, not the Seeker and the Querent. Mine has the Querent, which is the person asking the question, and the significant. So whoever would be significant to that person, whoever or whatever the situation is. So I might maybe do the Seeker and the Partner, but I might also do the Creature and the Monster, which is, would be in theme of this deck. We'll see when I take a look at the cards. So those aren't extra cards you could use them as extra cards, but its intention seems to be a traditional Lenormand deck with options for the gendered cards. So it comes in a little clear organza bag with some ripped up papers because this is called the Monster Lenormand. I don't even know if I said that. Look at the back. I love the back. Okay, let me careful. It feels like it's loose. Yeah, that's a loose one. So this is a black and white, like sketch style deck. Oh my gosh, I love the Rider. I have not seen all the cards. Okay. All right, this just me. I just couldn't resist. I truthfully have not been in the market for a Lenormand deck because I do tend to use very specific decks most of the time. So most of the time I'm using my deck or the 1889. Or I also do have, for size purposes, I do have this that my friend Itzy had given me as a historical reproduction. And it's just a good size for my space. So, yeah. So I really wasn't in the market, to be honest. I have a lot of Lenormand decks. I love them. But I tend to gravitate to a couple different decks. And so, but when I saw this, I'm like, oh no. Oh, I have got to have that. Look at this little guy on the narwhal. Oh. He definitely gives the idea of speediness with this little guy. So I love the format. You can see it's like a drawn square or rectangle here, the number of the card. You do have the playing card association, which I'm really happy with things like that. I don't need the whole playing card. I don't really use these for much, but I do like them to be present for the most part, and so that's there. And then of course the title of I really like the aesthetics of how the deck is set up. And then again, the back is gorgeous. Absolutely love it. Here we have the clover. Look at the ship and the whole tentacles of the Leviathan or the giant underwater squid, or that is just awesome. I mean, it literally makes me so happy. I can't even look at this. Because I mean, again, Lenormand, a house is a house is a house. It doesn't matter if it's a house with teeth in its mouth or not. It just is still a house. It's a sense of security. And look at this little monster in here. I think that's a little monster in there. Or it's a little door. I don't know. But I tend to see that as a little monster in there. And he's perfectly safe and secure and happy in that house. I love it. I absolutely love it. And she's also making a tarot deck, which is awesome. Look at the tree. I love him. I know he's supposed to be perfect. These are all obviously supposed to be kind of scary, but let's put little air quotes because they're adorable. I love this clouds. You still have the dark side and the light side because of how she's sketched over here, which is really nice if you use those directional pulls. It's very clear. It's the clouds. Look at this two-headed snake. This is interesting because the snake for me is about complication, which having two heads and going in different directions is going to cause some complications. And also just knowing like how long is it going to take? I don't know, because they're going to be pulling against each other. Love it. Again, we have the coffin with some type of a octopus, monstrous, tentacled creature here. I love the skull and crossbones. Look at the bouquet. Does that just not make you happy and feel like good fortune and luck is coming your way with that little, like, snuffleupagus little trunk? Here is the scythe. Now this is an interesting one because it's just all gooey. Like it literally looks like somebody tried to use the scythe and a monster swallowed it whole and it's just all drippy and gooey. Now that could be that there's blood supposedly running off of it, but I think that somebody was like all bad, like, you know, ooh, I'm gonna get you, monster, and the monster just was gulped it down and spit it back out. He ate the person who was holding it and he just spit the scythe back out all covered in saliva. This makes me so happy. Whip card, again, clearly they like tentacle monsters. Look at these cute little birds. Look at, they're like question mark, exclamation mark, like I don't know what's going on. My head is a little bit of a mess right now. I don't even know. I don't know what's happening because my head's being all crazy brain. Here we have the child card. He's so cute with this balloon. You know, the juxtaposition of something that we do think of as a child, like a balloon, and then the monster is just adorable. Here's the fox. He's like, okay, what's going on here? I'm going to have to be really smart and pay attention if I'm going to get out of this situation. And here's Isabel not liking the creepy monsters. Look at the bear. The unicorn bear. Beautiful stars, but we also have some comets that are starting to rain down. I'm sorry. Sorry, Isabel, of course, you know her. She's got to be the protective dog, and they're trying to fix the door, and so she's getting all out of sorts. Anyways, I do like the comet storm here. Look at, I mean, the stork is just happy even though he's got some teeth. Love the feeling of movement and flight here. Love it. Here's the dog. Dog is confused and just dreaming of bones. Love the tower here. You know, it's definitely on like the lake shore, and that Leviathan that wants to run through this whole thing, creep up through the garden, cool. Oh, it's so cute. Look at them, but very readable, right? So sometimes I think we can take themes and we can take like cute ideas, and not even cute ones, just ideas in general for themes. Close this. And then what we can do though is that sometimes that ends up interrupting the flow of just reading the cards, and then it just becomes a collectible. But this to me is very, very readable. Love the crossroads. Look, it's like a UFO flying across. It looks like a UFO to me. I don't have my glasses on. Look at the mice. What in the heck is that? Is hilarious. Is that like the mouse is screaming or something? And he's like, what is your problem, dude? Heart, again, feels like something ate the rest of the person and left it dripping. Here we have the ring with an eyeball in it. Magical book. It looks like, I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. Are the stamp? It almost looks like the stamps are running away. Look at you! Oh, look! You can see little teeth here. It's like in Dungeons and Dragons, there is a thing called a mimic, and so it can be, oftentimes it's like treasure chests, and you go to open the treasure chest, and it opens its mouth, and it's got all these teeth and a big tongue in it. It's almost like this letter. If you go to grab that letter to stick a stamp on it, it's going to go hump and take a chomp down. So here we have masculine. Oh, that's what she calls it, is masculine and feminine versus male and female, or lady and gentleman, or man and lady, or whatever they might be. This I don't actually mind as much because it is more energetically, and I do read when I'm not doing a reading that is around, you know, a significant other or something like that. I tend to read these as masculine and feminine energy, which males and females can both have. So that's adorable. I'm going to set those to the side though to see. I love this lily with the teeth. Love the sun. Now, I'm not a fan of faces and suns and moons, but that is adorable. And so is that. It's just too cute. Love the key. Don't want to grab a hold of that. Look at those fish. Looks like little piranhas. So there's like almost like a monster that's in the back of this, with all these tentacles that kind of runs through and threads through the whole deck, which I love. Here's the cross. Do not go here. It's like somebody's hammering these things in. Do not enter. Do not come this way. But it's the crossroads. Which way are you going to go? Because either way is going to lead to some other kind of monster. So now here's our extra cards. Let me zoom out a little bit here. We have the Seeker and the Querent. Well, for me, the Seeker and the Querent are the same thing. So for me, the Querent is the Seeker. So those are synonymous with each other. So then you could either do the Seeker and the Partner, or you could do the Querent and the Partner. Or you could do the Querent and the Monster. You can also just do the Monster and the Creature, which is kind of where I'm leaning towards, to be honest. I'm kind of leaning towards these two. Or these two. Either the Seeker and the Partner, either the Querent and the Seeker with the Partner, or the Monster and the Creature, and again, I don't even mind the masculine and feminine energy here. So, but because this is such a cute deck, that is the Monster deck, I think I'm going to start using the Monster and the Creature, or the Monster and the Monster's Partner, or the Creature and the Partner. That's somebody you're open to being receptive to because you are stuck together. Oh, so many options. So many options. I think I'm going to do the Monster and the Creature to start. And I'm going to have the Monster be the Querent because this is the Monster Lenormand, and then the creature be the significant. That's what I'm going to try. I'm going to start there. Obviously, the joy of this is that you can change them up all you want. Okay, I'm not going to put out a whole grand tableau because I would have to move a lot of stuff to do that. That's why I've been using smaller decks. But we can do a 9 card here. And I'll pull for the monster because, again, this is the Monster Tarot, or the monster that's coming. This is the Monster Lenormand. And our creepy, spooky monster, our candle just went out. It shuffles great. It kind of feels like it's maybe make your playing cards cardstock. That would be my guess. But it shuffles really, really well. It's got that linen-y, it would be their linen-y version. And that, for a riffle shuffler, that's actually really nice cardstock. So yeah, it bridges beautiful. It's not getting bent up right away. It's actually got a real nice feel to it. So let's see what the Monster Lenormand, just a general message it might have for me. I really love the backs. Okay, so then I'm going to turn it over and find the monster, which is right here. And I'm going to take the 4 cards after. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 4 cards before it. That's actually a lovely reading for me. Let me put it up here and see if I can zoom it in a little bit more. Look at that. I'll take that. Balance and harmony in the home is what's going to lead me to better places. That's true. I'm in the midst of balancing and harmonizing harmoniously. I can't speak. Harmonizing my home, going through clearing things out, doing lots of stuff like that. So that makes sense. And it's the next day. So yes, coming back to this, I actually really love this particular reading. So this was done as a general reading. This is me in the middle as the monster. I have the bear in the upper left-hand corner, which really does speak to digging deep, going into my own inner strengths and my own internal power. Of course, the bear has extra connotations for me personally in terms of animal energy and things, so that's lovely to see there as well. I love the past message that my inner strength had taken root and grown in the past through mindful, walking mindfully. So that it's kind of a reminder that when I am living mindfully, when I am stepping mindfully, when I am paying attention to the world around me, I'm going to see the 4-leaf clovers. I'm going to see those messages. I'm going to see those steps that I'm taking that are going to cause growth. So I really love to see that there in the past. Underlying things, again, being mindful about my connections, the way that I connect to the outer world. Now, obviously, the garden can be connecting to other people. It's community. It is the way that, for me in Lenormand, it's the big difference between the house and the garden. It's that inner private sphere versus that outer sphere. But when I'm walking mindfully through those connections, through community, through my world, the physical world around me, that is again when positive movement forward is going to take place. So it's again a bit of a reminder of running here and there, which is a kind of a phase that I feel like I'm in. I'm a little overwhelmed with, like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta juggle this, I gotta think about this, I gotta think about that, as many of us in the modern world have on our plates. But the reminder here is that growth for me happens when I'm moving mindfully. Good solid connections and moving forward for me happens when I'm stepping mindfully and I'm paying attention to the world around me. So it's a little bit of a message to slow down, slow back down, and keep that observation on the world around me. I really love this as well. So my inner strength journey has to do with balance. I mean, that's just like, yes, the balance has been a key phrase for me long before I ever knew anything about like talking about harmony and balance and these types of things. But the number 3, which is actually a number of balance for me personally, and the concept of trying to find balance has been a lifetime pursuit for me. And so that certainly makes sense. These seem to be, for me, this message seems to be, while delivered in a very cute, quirky package, it's still Lenormand, right? Whatever the package is, it's still Lenormand, and it's delivering that solid information that Lenormand is so capable of doing. I think one of the big misconceptions about Lenormand is that the only thing that it's good for is for, these quick readings. What should I do tomorrow? Should I take this job? Should I take this date with this person? These kinds of practical things, but it's actually capable of going just as deep as any other system, right? It's just a tool to tap us down into, for me, the web, and it's a very effective tool, and it's a very multi-layered tool that I love. In the future, again, we do have this sense of balance and harmonious inner private space. My inner space needs to be balanced, needs to be harmonious, needs to feel right? Because again, that's the space in which I am going to best move forward. And I like to see this also because I have been very mindfully working on this aspect, and so it's good to see that that is something that's going to generate what I needed to generate. So beautiful reading. Love this as a first reading for myself. And again, I just love everything about this deck. It is, again, cute, but not saccharine cute. Like, it's so cute, but it's not so. I think the black and white, the sketch quality of it keeps it really, really cute without it being, for me, too saccharine or too sweet or anything like that. It just feels like it's cute, it's quirky, it's clean and clear what the cards are, and so I just love it. I love everything about it. I know that she just did a small batch, as when I bought it, it was in like a pre-order of a small batch, so I don't know exactly how she's working it going forward. I will put a link to her website and things like that in the description box. I do know that she is working on a Monster Tarot as well, which is obviously like, yes. And tarot is probably one that I least like quirky and cute in, but it is, given how much I love this, it is certainly something that I will be watching to see how that progresses. So I hope that you've enjoyed this. I have enjoyed this, and I hope that you have an absolutely wonderful day.